Welcome to another episode of Crosstown Conflict. As always, Justin Macias is here with me. I'm Jared Farah, and we have about 2 weeks until opening day. Justin, you ready?
I'm so excited, man. They just opened up 20% too at the stadiums. I cannot wait. I
20%.
cannot wait for the season to start, man.
20%. So what are the you got to do? You got to either have a vaccine
So
or
yeah,
a
either you
COVID
gotta
free
show
test.
yeah, you gotta show up with your vaccine, or you gotta show up with a COVID with a PCR test, like from I think it's like 3 days ahead of time.
Okay. All right.
So either or you gotta, but it's got to be the second vaccine unless it's the Johnson that's the first one.
All right. I just want to take a couple shots to help out my buddy from the Bronx over here. I was looking into the opening day starters for all the teams, everyone on April 1st, everyone is starting. I see the big dogs. I see Jacob deGrom. I see Garrett Cole. I see Clayton Kershaw. And then I get to the Red Sox and Orioles game. What the shittiest tandem of opening day starters I've ever seen.
Keep to
It's
the Baldy.
Eduardo Rodriguez,
Oh, they're
and
going with the
I don't even know who the guy is for the Orioles.
Hernandez, Felix
I
Hernandez, maybe.
No, it's not Felix. I would have gave King Felix his respect. I don't care how old he is. That man's getting
Wow,
my respect.
might be Means.
Means I don't. Oh man, I lost it. I had it on the app. I can't find it on the internet. But we'll circle back to that next week when we preview the season.
Sounds good, man.
All right. So this week we did our preview last week and did our introductions. This week we're going to do a little bit of history. This past 10 years have been really big for New York baseball. Really exciting. We talked a lot of shit to each other. So this year we're going to do our top 5 moments of the decade. So from 2010 to 2020, we're going to do our 5 personal favorite moments. Not the greatest moments, not the best moments. It's Justin and Jared's personal favorite moments of the decade.
And you know Jared's mostly going to come from 2015.
Yeah, the top 3 are 2015. I try not to, but the moments are so juicy. All right. You want to flip a coin to see who goes first?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I got a penny and Abraham Lincoln right here.
Oh, that's a lucky one.
All
Yeah,
right. Call it in the air.
Tails.
Tails, you want to go first or second?
I'll go first. Tails never fails.
Give me your number 5 Yankee moment.
All right, my number 5 Yankee moment is it's kind of a weird one, but I'll never forget this moment. It's when Raul Ibanez hit those back to backs in the 2012 series against who was it, the Orioles. And you sit A-Rod, you bring up Raul Ibanez, who really was a late acquisition in the year. And I'll never forget just sitting in my parents' basement. Like, my dad went to bed already. I was still in high school, just losing my mind. Like, come on, like, please just do something here. And then you see that ball go, like, just go flying out of the wall. I almost lost it. I woke my parents up. I woke everybody up. And then you see that second home run. It was just like, dude, this guy is on something. I was like, this was a great moment. So that's my number 5. Raul Ibanez.
I think Raul Ibanez was Tom Brady before Tom Brady because he was the old man just getting it done, doing things that should not have been happening.
Yeah. Like, why are you just so good at baseball? Why are you so good at hitting, like, baseballs 400 plus feet?
I think that the saddest thing about Raul Ibanez is he missed both those Phillies 2008 team and that Yankees 2009 team. I think he joined the Phillies in 2009.
He could have had it all.
That
He
that
could have
that
had it all.
that man deserves a ring, but that's a great number 5. All right, for my number 5 Mets moment in 2012, in the middle of a miserable year, Johan Santana. The Mets are one of 2 teams left to not throw a no-hitter in Major League Baseball since 1962 to 2012. Johan Santana goes out there, throws 134 pitches, and probably the most bittersweet moment of his career. At that time, he was dinged up. He was older. He wasn't the same guy he was with the Twins. But from 2008 to 2012, there were some miserable seasons for the Mets, and he was one of the bright spots.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't even I think he was supposed to come out after 6 innings. You see Terry Collins sweating in the dugout, looking terrible. but 134 pitches. My man gets it done against the Padres. But it's bittersweet because after this miracle moment, 134 pitches, 9 innings, man should not have been in there. Got some help from the umpires, no doubt. We all saw
Oh,
that. No big
oh
deal.
yeah,
It kind of ended his career. Like that was like the natural moment. He went out on top.
yeah.
He really didn't have anything left after that. His
You,
tank was
you,
on E.
you really didn't hear from him. It's kind of like almost like that Doc Gooden effect too. Like once that like Doc Gooden when he threw that no hitter on the Yankees, it was like great, but then it's like, what did you really kind of do after? Like kind of just fell off. Your career was over at that point. But it was a great moment to see and have.
He got a championship with the Yankees too, right? Was he on that
Gooden, yeah,
90,
yeah,
98 team or 96?
90, yeah. I think it was 96. I want to say on that 96 team.
Strawberry was on one of those teams too, right?
Strawberry was on all those teams.
Oh man. And you know what's really disturbing? There's at my job, there's like an older guy I'm friends with just because he's a Mets fan, and we talk shop every time we see each other.
Oh yeah,
He comes in and he just lays down the disrespect the Mets like treat their alumni players. He says, "Do you know the Yankees celebrated a Doc Gooden Day and a Darryl Strawberry Day before the Mets ever did?"
yeah.
And it's just terrible. It goes back for years, the disrespect. But hopefully, with the Cohen team in place now, new management, people who love the Mets, who love the city, it's gonna be something new.
Things might change for y'all. I'm hoping
All
for
right,
it.
let's
Hoping for that.
yeah, it'll make the rivalry an actual rivalry.
Yeah, make it worth something to watch.
You fucker. All right. Well, what's your number 4 moment?
All right, my number 4 moment. This one might be a little, a little controversial, but the number 4 is definitely that Greg Bird home run off Andrew Miller. Game 3 of the ALDS. Yankees down 2-0. You lose 2 heartbreakers in Cleveland, especially that game 2. That game 2 was you're up 8-3. Francisco Lindor, that fuck, he hits a grand slam. Jay Bruce ties it. Some ex-Mets. I'm like, God damn it. We lose in extras because Dellin Betances doesn't know how to pitch.
I know that.
Yeah. And then just that game 3 was such a nail biter. Your back's against the wall. It's only a 5-game series. But you got your man Tanaka. This is where that playoff Tanaka pedigree came out. Went toe-to-toe with Cookie Carrasco. Through 7-8 innings. Shut down. You had Judge Rob Lindor of a home run right at the wall. Then they bring in Andrew Miller trying to close it down. You got Greg Bird, or the infamous lefty, first baseman with power that every Yankee fan loves and idolizes. And he fucking does it. He just does it. It was great. Takes the lefty deep, no doubt about it. It was such a moonshot. Brought us back in the series. It was just great. It was just a great moment. Like I'll never forget just being at work and just seeing it and just like this was crazy because it was just an overall crazy game.
I feel that. I could take up the next hour just shitting on Greg Bird because
Oh,
I've
I
known
could
for a
do an
long
hour and a
time.
half. We could go a whole podcast about just trashing Greg Bird.
The day after the season ends, we're just gonna have a Greg Bird hate episode.
I'm down for that.
But I'm gonna say that one home run bought him 2 extra years in pinstripes.
Oh no, easily. It was always like, well, Greg Bird hasn't done anything lately, but he hit that home run.
And no disrespect for the guy, but every day on the radio, Michael Kay would be like, just let him in, let him stay. I know baseball. This kid is good. But he admitted he was wrong. I respected that from Michael
Of
Kay
course.
then.
Because every Yankee fan loves a left-handed first baseman that has power.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's always blown my mind
Bro,
that we always need that lefty first baseman.
it's just that short porch. It's
It's so
California
tantalizing,
dreaming.
man. It's so tantalizing.
All right. My number 4 moment is a special moment, and I'm gonna say it's a special moment to everyone who's been overweight and anyone who loves the game of baseball. 2016, we're in May. Bartolo Colon goes deep for his first career home run. A man's been in the league since the 90s.
I knew that was gonna come.
He's playing against the Padres. They're up 2-0. Second inning. Boom. Oh my. Gary Cohn with probably the best call he's ever made in his life. It's out of here. It's out of here. Bartolo Colon. Bro, and it was just a fantastic moment. The Mets are up 4-0. Everyone's feeling good. This is our year. We're coming back after that 2015 year. Colon gives up 3 runs in the next inning. No big deal. No one remembers that part. But the Mets end up winning, I think, 6-3.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even remember that part.
No one will. They won the game. That's all that matters. But the best part, no, not the best. The best part's the home run. But my personal favorite part was on Twitter. I saw a video. I haven't been able to find it since. They take that Cologne home run video and they use Jack Buck's voice for when the Dodgers won in a walk-off. It's like, I can't believe what I just saw. And it was just a perfect
Classic.
baseball clip. I can't believe I can't find it, but when I do, I'll post it here. I'm
No,
copywriting that shit. I'm taking it. It's mine. When I find it, it's mine. And that's all I got for number 4.
I would have thought that would have been up there a little higher.
No, we got some juicy 2015.
That's true. You guys do have that 2015 run. My number 3, this was an emotional one for me. It was Jeter's final game. Not a playoff game, nothing crazy, but looking back at that game, you would have thought that was a playoff game. The way the Yankee Stadium was going crazy, you just can't write a better script than that. You go up 4-0. David Robertson blows a save, wants to be Mo, isn't Mo, blows a save. Jeter's got to come up, and he's got to save everybody's day. Granted, I do think the guy threw him a cookie cutter pitch, just laid a cutter or a fastball right there, sitting at 80-something. Jeter's going to just do what Jeter does, inside-out swing.
You're giving Jeets that respect.
Yeah, but you got to give it to him.
The catcher's whispering to him, like in the beginning of Space Jam where they're telling Jordan, fastball, swing.
Fastball, swing.
Did Jeter go 5 for 5 that day too?
No, that was...
No. Was that the 3,000? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Didn't make the list, but we'll get back to that one.
We got plenty of shows.
Oh, yeah. No, but this was it was such an, seeing your childhood hero just go out on top. And it was just such an emotional moment to have him, do something like that and just end his career the way you would only expect Derek Jeter to end a fucking career.
You gotta pay your respects to Jeets.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's like that commercial where everyone's tipping their hats. You see the Mets fans giving the bow, the Red Sox fans tipping their hats.
Yeah,
it's true.
You gotta give them respect. There are so many few players that you gotta give respect to.
But you want to hear the sickest part of the Yankees? He might not even be on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
How sickening is that?
It's close. It's definitely close, but
it's arguable. It's arguable. You could squeeze him in at number 4. No one's going to complain, but someone's going to have an argument for it.
Oh, yeah. Somebody's definitely going to have an argument. They'll be like, why did Yogi? Where's Whitey Ford? It's like, we get it. Those guys are all-time greats. But also at the same time, Jeter still has the most hits ever as a Yankee. So it's like, you can't just go over that and be like, well, yeah, Lou Gehrig's better. It's like, Jeter just passed him.
Yeah.
By a lot.
Shit, bro. Oh, man. All right. But we could get into Mount Rushmore. Maybe we'll do that next week.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll do our Mets and Yankees Mount Rushmore. My number 13 is a cluster. The 2015 season pitching performances. We got all these guys outside of Cologne are under the age of 25 at this time. And it just opened up the door of what could have been. Matt Harvey with a 2.7 ERA. Jacob deGrom with a 2.5 ERA. Rookie Syndergaard coming in for 15 games with a 3.2 ERA. Steven Matz coming up the last 4 games of the season going 4-0. Jerry's Familia being skinny and good at baseball. 1.8 ERA. That man shut doors down. He shut doors down until he got to the fucking World Series. Bartolo Colon eating up to close to 200 innings, having 14 wins. Addison Reed. I had no clue who Addison Reed was. 1.7 ERA. Trading for Tyler Clippard from the Nationals. It was just a really good year for pitching in New York. And just seeing them all go down one by one outside of Jacob deGrom it's just really terrible to see. But deGrom outplaying in a must-win situation against Clayton Kershaw on the NLCS, he didn't have his best stuff, but he came to play. And Matt Harvey throwing the best 8 innings I've ever seen in my life. That's arguable for anyone. That was the best 8 innings of playoff baseball anyone has seen in the last 10, 15 years.
Definitely arguable.
Yes. Yes. I will argue that to the day I die. Goes back in for the 9th, walk, double, Lucas Duda error. Mets lose the World Series. But 2015 is something to fawn over. We'll never see that kind of performance from multiple people again with the way no one eats innings anymore. People get hurt. People come down after 5 innings. We'll see.
Yeah. That pitching staff was great. I mean, it really is what led y'all to that World Series that year.
Yeah.
And just seeing those young guys come up, and you guys really thought you had something there.
We did. We had it. We had it. We thought it. We knew it.
Couldn't sustain it. Steven Matz wants to go be trash. Syndergaard wants to go get injured and play on Call of Duty,
he just wants to have sex with models. Him and Harvey just wanted to have sex with models.
That's all they wanted.
They did it though. Good for them. But I think that Harvey 2015, he was supposed to have like an innings limit, like Steven Strasburg, like when they shut him down.
Yeah,
they were supposed to. He was going to shut him down with a month left, but after something else that happens at my number 1 spot, they decided to go for it. But after that, he wasn't the same again either. Where are we at for you? Number 2.
Number 2. This is one that lives in Yankee fans' hearts. And we really hate to see this guy go, and it really hurt me. But when Didi Gregorius hit that home run in the wild card game, oh my God, so beautiful. Just that man Didi is like that. He lives in every Yankee fan's heart for that one swing. Greg Bird could never do it, but Didi Gregorius could. Yeah. And you know what? I'll throw in Didi Gregorius' 2 home runs against Corey Kluber in the ALDS. Throw those all, like Didi Gregorius' 2017 playoff run was something that was like, this is great. It was great to watch. That first game, you fall down 3-0. Severino has nothing. He's got nothing. He gets pulled for Chad Green. We're up there fighting for our life. Feel like the R. Kelly meme.
I'm fighting for my life.
Just dying, and then you get, I think Gardner got on, Judge got on, and you start getting that feeling like, okay, something's gonna happen. And then Didi just rocks Irving Santana to right field. Rocked him to right field. And like I think that changed the whole dynamic of what 2017 was looking like. And that's when you started seeing that first glimpse of, oh, this team is not going away. They're going to stay here to the very last out, and they're going to fight you, and they're going to give you a hard time.
The thing about Didi Gregorius that I think endears him so much to Yankee fans is no one could live up to replacing Derek Jeter, and he stepped in there like nothing happened. I wouldn't say like nothing happened. That's Jeets, like we said before.
Yeah.
But that man stepped in, played a great short, and he had the bat. He had the stroke.
Oh yeah. The thing with Didi, when he first came up, people weren't too fond of him just because he had so many running mistakes. Like, he'd always run into outs, but you'd never question his defense. It wasn't like if a ball was hit to Didi, it was like, oh, like, let me clench my butt cheeks because I don't know if he's gonna make this play. But like, and that's where you say overall, where you see he had the great defense, the bat started coming along more, and then he just started making these clutch hits. And he started coming through in times where Jeter would, and it's like you almost didn't miss a step with him.
It was really impressive just to see him play. I'm upset. I honestly was upset that he left the Yankees.
Ouch. That day hurt. I was like, damn. I was like, the Phillies too?
Yeah, I gotta see him all the time. That's the even worse part.
I mean, you guys pretty much have like the fallouts of that 2017 Yankee team just on the Phillies.
Yeah. It's like how like the Lightnings are the Rangers South.
Yeah, pretty much.
For my number 2, yeah. I just gotta name some names really quick. Clayton Kershaw, Zach Greinke, Jake Arrieta, John Lester. What do these guys have in common? 4 of these guys in 6 straight games were taken deep by Daniel Murphy in a legendary postseason run.
You could also say all those guys are Cy Young Award winners.
Shit, yeah. You can say that. This man took it deep. But Jake Arrieta was, I think he had like a 1.3 ERA, something stupid. It wasn't as low as a 1.3, but it was in the ones.
He was going crazy.
For 2015, he was the greatest pitcher in the world. It was impossible. But
Didn't
Daniel
he have like
Murphy,
2 no-hitters that year?
did he? I
I
wouldn't
think
doubt
so.
it.
I think he had 1 at least.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But the man, he was always a double machine. Couldn't find. He's an awful fielder. But we started him out in left, moved him around, played third, played second. He settled in at second base. Daniel Murphy was a double machine. The man could hit. Everywhere he went, they told him he couldn't play, and he just hit. And he batted .281 in the regular season, and he batted .421 in the postseason. The man was possessed. I remember they didn't want to resign him. I was upset about that. I thought they should have paid him because of the following 3 years he had. He started to fall off a little bit, and that's where they're like, oh, look at his 2019 numbers. The Mets shouldn't have resigned him. But look at 2016, 17, and 18. I think he batted .400 for the first 2 months of baseball, and he finished batting like .330 with the Nationals of all fucking people. And I remember one game they were playing the Nationals in town. Daniel Murphy, everyone's booing him, and I'm looking around. I'm like, you people are sick. You guys are monsters. We don't go to the World Series without that, man. I'm standing there like this. I see one dude in the corner, and I'm like, he knows. That's a real fan right over there.
He gets it.
Boom. Thank you, Daniel Murphy. 2015 World Series appearance does not happen without you. We might not lose a game because he makes an error at second, but we don't worry about that.
No.
We don't worry about that.
You don't get there for him to make that error if he doesn't hit those home runs.
True. Fuckers. That should have been our World Series. The fucking Kansas City Royals, the hit machine. We're a strikeout team, and we go against the only team we probably can't pitch against. Hit after hit after hit after hit. All those guys, they haven't been that good since.
No.
But 2015, they were all fucking all-stars.
And 2014, they were just going crazy.
Oh, wow. You forget about that.
I'll never forget that All-Star game. It was like half the lineup was just Kansas City Royals to start the game.
And a big respect to Alex Gordon. That man was there. He was able to stay in the roster, win a chip, being the best player on a last place team for multiple years. Good for you, Alex Gordon. But you're not on my fucking list. Now I'm upset doing something I like.
I'll still never forget someone calling on Twitter that 2015 World Series is a bubblegum World Series. And I can't ever unsee that because I'm like, that's so true.
Bullshit. Get to your number one. You kidding me?
All right, my number one.
Wait. How many World Series did you guys go to this decade?
So my number one is we were right there, and this my number one was our opportunity. My number one were those 3 games against those cheating bastards in Houston in the ALCS at home. Game 3, 4, and 5 were one of the best moments the Yankee fans had in these past past decade. Where it's just like every game that I went to that game 3, that Judge hits the home run, Todd Frazier hits the home run, CeCe goes 6 strong, striking guys out left and right. It was like, where did this CeCe come from all of a sudden? He got fatter. He just started pitching better. He induced a cutter. And then that game 4 comeback was something that like I said, back to the Didi home run. It was just, this team had so much fight in it, and they were never losing. You always felt like, okay, when's their time? They're just going to turn it on and score 6, 7 runs. And just like that, it happened. Down 4-0. Judge hits the home run. Sanchez hits a pop fly, scores in a run. Now all of a sudden it's 3-4. Then Judge hits that double to score Ellsbury. Forgot he was even on that team. You go back and watch. It's like, why is Ellsbury running base? But then Gary Sanchez hits that double, scores in Judge, and Didi is just that whole playoff. That those 3 games were so crucial and so important as Yankee fans to hold on to. And that's where you started seeing these pedigrees of Gary actually being able to still do it, hitting doubles going the other way to score guys in crucial spots. It's like you tell me Gary Sanchez is doing that today or last year, I'd have been like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Those are the baby bombers. The baby bombers were fun to watch.
The big bombers were great to watch. Severino was still kicking it. You had and like that bullpen. I just look back. I'm like, man, we had Tommy Kahnle at his peak. Like Tommy Kahnle before he went down, like before he started dealing with injury. Chad Green was pitching to almost like a 1-something out of the bullpen, which was nuts. David Roberts we picked up from the White Sox, bringing back an old face to bring us through.
And you got a lot of guys for the future that year too, trading away pieces, thinking nothing was going to happen.
Yeah.
Traded away Chapman, traded away Miller. Both
No,
those guys ended up in the World Series, though.
That was 2016.
That was 16?
Mm-hmm.
No,
because that's when we started doing like a whole rebuild dump, and then all of a sudden Gary Sanchez shows up, hits 20 bombs in 60 games, and then Judge comes on the scene in 2017. The rebuild was over at that point, so it's like, okay, we got rid of Chapman in 2016, brought him back, still have Torres. We got rid of Andrew Miller, who we hit the bomb off of in 2017.
Yeah.
All to get, and we still have those guys. We still have Clint Frazier. We still have, what else did we get in the trade?
Did you get Glaber?
We got Glaber in the Chapman deal.
Okay.
That was one of the biggest deals, is sending Chapman to the Cubs for Glaber, and then just re-signing Chapman after he was a free agent.
Who'd you get for Andrew Miller?
The Cubs weren't going to re-sign him.
Who'd you get for Andrew Miller? I know you guys got something. I know that was the year before, but
that was the same year, same salary dump. We got Frazier. I forget who the other. A couple.
Yeah, sorry, it doesn't matter.
Prospects,
Yeah, you got a 2021 starter, so that's all that matters.
That pivot from 2016 to 2017 was crazy, because we really in 2016 were going to be a rebuilding team. Even Cece said it on his podcast where he's like, I didn't want to come back that year.
Yeah.
That 2017, he didn't want to come back because he didn't want to be part of a rebuild, and it was looking like the rebuild was going to be 3-4 years. We weren't going to be ready till 2020. And then, like I said, you got Sanchez came up in 2016, started hitting bombs, really just turning, looking like that corner piece. And then 2017 starts, and Aaron Judge is hitting home runs at an outrageous clip. He's, has almost 20 home runs before even May. And it was just that's when you're just like, all right, the rebuild's over and we're a playoff team now. Yeah. Starlin Castro was actually playing decent. Didi Gregorius was finally living up to that name. Greg Bird was still hitting, I think, 250, which is like, from Greg Bird, I'll take that.
Incredible. that was a fun year to watch them.
No, it was.
But
I think that was the one year that the Yankees have had where people actually wanted us to win.
Yeah, I didn't want to see you win, but I enjoyed watching the baseball games.
Yeah.
I wasn't hating, I wasn't rooting, but I was enjoying baseball. All right. Let's see. Let me set this up a little bit. 2006, we go to the NLCS. We lose Game 7. Beltran watches the strikeout. Endy makes the catch. Whatever. I make the mistake of thinking we'll be good in the following year. And we were. But on the last game of the season, I think we were up 7 games in the last month. And we had a play to win against the Marlins, 2007, last game of the season. I go with my mom. She takes me. Tom Glavine's on the bump. Gives up 7 runs in the first inning. And that's how we lose the division in a playoff spot. The following year, 2008, lose again to the Marlins, last day of the season. 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, we're in the mix for 3rd, 4th place in the NL East. And we're just terrible at this time. I'm already a man at this time. I went through all of high school, all of college of this team being fucking awful. 2015 happens. It's another mediocre year, but we're above 500. And at one point, we're 52-50. And for the first time, probably since Mike Piazza, they say, let's go for it. Let's freaking go for it. They trade for Yoenis Cespedes. And that's my number one moment. The Yoenis Cespedes trade. Because the pitchers are number 3 because they were still a 500 team with those guys. Murphy's number 2 because without this trade, we don't get to the playoffs. 52 and 50. We trade for him. The man hits 9 homers in 13 games. He hits 17 total in the last 60. We go from 52 to 50, and we finish 90 and 72 to win the NL East. It was an entire culture change. We had the arms. We had some decent defense. And then we just got the big dog in there to bring people home. And it was something Mets fans haven't seen. Yeah. I hate the man with every inch of me today. But in 2015, it was a game changer. I bought my first authentic jersey is the Yoenis Cespedes jersey.
Wow. Let's go.
Bro, like that's how much this man meant to the city. I was one of the people saying, you better pay him. You better fucking pay him. We'll go crazy outside of Citi Field if you don't pay this man. They paid him. I think he's paid
money.
They paid him a lot of money. I think it was like 3 years, $75 million. And that was before 25 mil was norm, you know?
Yeah, right.
But let's see what happens. Things that we didn't know as Mets fans. He was already hurt. He was playing hurt. He broke his other ankle.
And he has boars.
Yeah, his wild boars. I have a whole section of wild boars. Whenever we do an anti-Mount Rushmore, wild boars are on my
wild
list.
Wild boars are right there, the first one.
Yeah. They're right next to Jason Bay.
I'm dead. Oh my God, Jason Bay.
But honestly, like, I hate the man. He's having showcases now to try to get back into the league. Honestly, he could probably be a DH somewhere, but 2015, the whole run doesn't happen without him. We're still a mediocre team. Because without that World Series run, we didn't get that playoff money, and the Wilpons probably wouldn't have kept all these pitchers. You know, They would have scrapped away all the pieces. So without that run, the Mets don't get that little extra revenue, and they don't keep this team somewhat intact. It didn't work. Yeah. We made the playoffs the following year, but I don't know where we are today if 2015 doesn't happen. I think we're still a bottom of the barrel team.
Yeah, I don't think you guys keep DeGrom. I think, the price tag either gets too high, or you trade him for some pieces, and then it's like, why did we even do that?
No, that would have been horrendous. There was big talks about that happening. That would have been brutal. Especially like about going to the Yankees. Yeah, that would have been so brutal. Imagine him on that 2017 team.
Oh, that's what I was just about to say. We would have loved him on that team, man. Actually have an ace, a guy that we could just throw out there. If we had an ace that year, give me man now.
If they traded DeGrom to the Yankees and he won the World Series, this podcast wouldn't be happening. I wouldn't be a Mets fan. I swear.
You wouldn't talk to me. You wouldn't talk to me.
No, never. I would never hear it. It would be worse than getting Bobby Bonilla text. Like, hey, 2-year anniversary of the trade. Hey, it happened.
Let you know.
I'm a champ. Look at my replica ring that I got on May 3rd for showing up on a Friday. Get the fuck out of here.
Definitely call that a word for that.
Horrendous. But that's both our top fives. Let's get into some honorable mentions. You know what? I'm gonna go first this time, right?
You got it.
Honorable mention. Just one sentence about this is during the 2015 World Series, Mets are down 0-2, and Syndergaard was a young kid. He had a wild arm, and the Kansas City was chirping and like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a real problem if he throws inside to us. And he goes, if you have a problem with how I pitch, I'm 60 feet 6 inches away. So just basically calling out the team. He goes out there, guts out 6 innings, wins the game for our only win in the World Series.
Fire. That was a tough game. I'll give it to Syndergaard. That was like the only game where I was like, okay, Syndergaard pitched well.
Yeah.
Syndergaard pitched well.
All right. What, yeah. All right. What's your honorable mention?
I got a couple honorable mentions. Just like ones you can't. Jeter's 3000. Can't just like overlook that. It wasn't the top 5 for me because it's just like I was kind of younger at the time. I understood it. It was a great feat, but at the same time, it's like we didn't really go nowhere that season. It was kind of like a lost season, like a great moment in a lost season type of thing. Another one that was the same thing was just A-Rod coming back from the steroids, that Ryan Dempster game. Gotta love it. Ryan Dempster throws at him. You got all of like Boston yelling at A-Rod, "You're a cheater, you're a cheater," and he takes him deep, takes him deep center. Gotta love it. I was like, nice. I was like, yes, A-Rod revenge. I'm here for it. Still love A-Rod. And then the third honorable mention is that DJ LeMahieu home run in 2019. Really special moment. Ties the game at 4-4. Would have been in my top five if you don't have Aroldis Chapman leaving the cookie to the buzzer cheater, Jose Altuve. Left him a hanging slider, but Jose definitely knew it was coming. You're not hitting Chapman slider. I don't care who you are.
I retract all my hate from 2017 because the Astros are cheaters. I was talking a lot of shit to you guys. Yeah. I retract it. Those men cheated. Fuck them.
Those men cheated.
They cheated.
Got caught.
It wasn't stealing signs. Yep.
That's why I literally said the number one is those 3 games, because how do we win every game at home? We blew them out almost every game, and then we go to Houston, and now all of a sudden they could hit and we can't. It's just like it was an anomaly. It was like what is going on right here? And then you finally hear it, and it's like that kind of makes sense. It also makes sense of like, you see them like that. I always think back to that one Dodger game. How do you light up Clayton Kershaw for 7 runs? I think the final score was like 16-15.
And they didn't swing at a single off-speed pitch either.
Not one.
It's fucked.
Hunting straight fastballs.
I would have had Steve Cohen buying the Mets, but that's 2021, I believe. But it's out of this 2020 season. This moment's an honorable mention because of how poorly it played out. David Wright's last game in retirement farewell. He should have every single Mets record on paper for hitting, fielding, games played, but because of the injury bug, it stopped him. He's second place with like 8 seasons under his belt for every single statistical record, Mets hitting wise. If he had one more full season, he breaks every single record, and it's a shame that it didn't happen. But on his last game, sold out Citi Field, instead of being smart, doing a nice pregame ceremony, everyone saying goodbye, everyone giving him a standing ovation, the Mets go into extra innings, and the game drags on. The last day this man is in the building, no one's trying to stay for that. It goes deep into the night. The place is half empty, and it's just an absolute salute to how the Mets were run. Poor decisions, poor fucking ceremonies. They waited until fucking Seaver was almost dead to honor him. Ridiculous, but that's for another Mount Flushmore type deal. But yeah. David Wright farewell is a top moment.
Wasn't he chasing Ed Kranepool's records?
Kranepool and Darryl Strawberry's RBIs and home run record. They didn't even keep that, man. Disgusting. Whatever. Pete Alonso is going to break all the records. It's fine. The home run one for sure.
Oh, I thought you were talking about weight records.
No. Sicko. That was a good one. The Mets home run record isn't even that much. It's like, I think it's under 400,
Yeah. Who has that?
Strawberry. Yeah. All right. You have any more honorable mentions?
That's pretty much it. I mean, you had those dead years of just 2013 to 2016. It was like teams were awful. You're running out guys like Vernon Wells and Lyle Overbay. It's just like we didn't have much. Maybe Mo's final game. That was something that really was an emotional game for me. Just watching it, and I cried. I cried that day. You're watching greatness kind of go out.
Yeah.
And he went out in a great way. So it's just
he's the greatest closer ever.
Yeah. And then you have idiots like Robbie Cano that see how him and Jeter left, and then it's like, you know what? I'm going to go play for the Mariners.
Yeah. I'm going to go get paid and do extra steroids.
Yeah. Do more steroids.
Sicko. Fuck Cano too. He's on my Flushmore. Piece of shit. All right. You got any final words? Nothing? All right. That was this episode of Crosstown Conflict. We will see you next week as the countdown gets closer to opening day. Thanks for listening. Please subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. I'm going to be doing editing this week because I won't be hungover. So hopefully there's stuff all over the screens to where to follow us. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right, later, guys.